I think about 8 people are here. Okay, keep joining, keep sharing the link. So this evening we're going to be unwrapping 2024. All right. Okay, no worry yourself. I'll take care of that. So thank you very much for joining. This is Instagram, and unfortunately for our fellow on Instagram, the guys will not be able to join us on Instagram. So you can go to my story or go to Facebook and join, because that's where we'll be having some guests. Okay, so this is 2024 unwrapped. So it's more like um, where we're going to be discussing everything that's happened in 2024. 2023, 2024 already. And then we shall, not yet, and then we shall, take it to the next level and then discuss plans and strategies. Basically, there are a lot of questions, there are a lot of things I want to settle out here. And now on the creative space, a lot has happened and a lot is still going to happen. But you can join on Facebook, right? So you can actually minimize the button. And again, all our guests are going to be joining us on Facebook too. So I prefer you go to Facebook and join so you can get a better coverage. I mean, you can see all our guests, as they are talking and they're responding. So we'll be happy to do that. So we'll be looking into a number of things, and I'm going to go right straight into it. So the early birds are going to benefit from it, and I'm not going to waste your time as much as possible. Where yeah, the conversation is going to be very long, so it's for serious-minded creatives that is willing to change their game in 2024. They have told you to up your game. No, 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 no. You have to change the game. All right. The Facebook handle is Kachi Eze. All right. I don't know if I can paste it here. Is it possible to paste it here? Can somebody access the Facebook handle? Favor, please check. If you can access the Facebook handle here, can somebody access it? So check. I pinned the Facebook handle, right? So thank you very much, everyone, for joining in, and we are going to start. So creatives have an understanding of the creative details and how they affect marketing, and then we go right straight into how to elevate yourself, develop yourself as a creative person. Can you access Facebook on there? Or you go to the link in my bio to access Facebook. We're streaming, that's where we're having our guests. So you get answers on business and creative related issues. We're going to be discussing how to establish clear, effective communication channels, or first of all, communication with your clients. All right. So, and then we're going to look at boosting and negotiating your way up financially. And then again, we are going to be looking at skilling up, if there's any word like that. I hope so. Your creative talent, and basically how to get to work for big corporations, big brands, and all of that. So please do well to join us on Facebook. We're going to be having a lawyer joining us, and this is no jokes. We have gone all out to make sure that a lot of questions I'm getting in my DM, we're going to answer them publicly. And I hope by the end of this conversation, we are not just going to help you maybe achieve your 2024 goals, but you'll be fueled and you'll be boosted with confidence to to do more with your skill, and most importantly, love what you are doing. So without no further ado, please, I'm going to jump right straight into it because we have no time. So I have about 8 people on Facebook. Please, if you can see us on Facebook, can you kindly drop a note, drop a hello, tag someone that you love, tag someone who loves you too, your colleague in the creative space that is showing you Pepe on Instagram Reels with their real videos, showing you Pepe with their latest designs, latest content. Tag someone, tag someone, tag someone. We're going to be having an awesome moment. So this is a serious conversation. You see, I'm not live active on Facebook, so I pinned my Facebook account here. All right, I don't know if you can have access to it, or go to my bio and check for go to my bio and check for Facebook. Is there, is written big on my bio. You see Facebook, just go there, you're gonna see that we're streaming live. All right. So yeah. So do we have any comments on Facebook? Favor? Do you have any comments from Facebook? I want to be sure that everybody is following and okay, so what are the comments like? Good evening. Yeah, all right. So I saw some of your questions on from the back end of the registration, please, and we are going to really answer some of those questions here. Please stay tuned. We want to allow other people to join in. A lot of people dropped questions like they would love to understand how best to communicate with their clients. They understand all of that stuff. So I'm going to be sharing every single detail, everything you need to know about communicating with your clients and how to actually look serious and charge what you think is appropriate for you. So no more struggles. I just hope everyone here is ready for tonight. I just hope everyone here is ready for tonight. I just hope. I just hope. I just hope. All right. So thank you very much for coming on this Facebook Live or live stream. All right. So I just wanted to know if we have some audience. I think the Facebook Live is only available for those who are your friends on Facebook. So you can. Is it true? I think I made it public. Is it public? Is it public streaming? So anyone, yeah, is we are live on Facebook. So if you want, if that is the case, just send me send me um send me a friend request on Facebook with the name that Favor has done, so you can migrate to Facebook. So we're going to be ending this live now, so we can migrate to Facebook. See you on Facebook. Go to the link in my bio, get the Facebook link, or go and search my name on Facebook. You're going to see us streaming live on Facebook. Thank you very much, everybody. All right, we have 9 people on Facebook, although I can't see their comments. But I mean, I might switch to Facebook now. All right, thank you very much. We're ending this now. Whenever you see it, please meet us on Facebook. Thank you. Okay. Meet us on Facebook. All right. It said Facebook link is not connected. All right. Continue editing. Next. Next. A lot of people are not going to check their emails. Typical Nigerians. All right. All right. Cool. I'm not going to check their emails. All right. All right. Okay. We have 8 people joining us right now. So thank you very much. And with the 8 people, we are going to go. So for every particular season, for every generation, there is always going to be something called trend. And trend is going to come and go. It's muted. Yeah. Trend is always going to come and go. But what is most important is that you understand the background, you understand what is fueling that trend. All right. So you don't play the game like exactly the same way other people play that game. So I'm going to be, having some people join us in this conversation, and they're going to share with us their experiences and what they have gained, right? Having to grow in the creative space. So which is really, 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 really very important. So I'm going to be starting out with the first things that we spoke about early last year. We started having the likes of NFTs, started having some of those things that were built on the blockchains, some of those creative materials that were built there, it was as though it was going to take away a lot of people's life. People were about to lose their life because of NFT, you know, and people became creative. Even people that are not creative people started looking for ways to become creative. Designers started looking for ways to become artists. They started looking for what to draw. Started looking other ways, yeah, just to make money. The goal is to make money. And you have met different trends, especially those trends are always trying to get you or show you how to make money. And for every other day, you wake up, you hear things like, "Oh, we this one is now giving money today." All right, and what do? We switch to that one. This one is now paying today. What do? We switch to that one. But have you taken your time to realize why the rich people are not moved by some of these things? All right, companies, organizations, big corporations are really not moved by some of these things because somehow, in a way or the other, they've been able to understand why they exist in the first place. Now, this is a story or a conversation that we'll keep having. We'll keep telling people to understand why they exist, why they are actually in the system in the first place. Because if purpose is not clearly defined, what happens is that abuse is inevitable. I've heard a lot of people say a lot of things. Um, Most of us came out from school and we do not have any option than to go learn a skill because our industrialization is not matching with educational qualifications or the things we went to school to study. So most of us went ahead to make use of our time during the school days to be able to achieve whatever we want to achieve. And here we are, designers. So having said that, I just a bit of experience like I would share. I realized that all right, designing or being in that space where you have to create something for companies or have to create something that is going to convert is beyond just learning the skill in cyber cafe. All right. So we need to understand the purpose right now. So cyber cafe, all right, has given you a certain level of knowledge requisite for the people in that space because the environment you are is going to fuel the kind of experience and knowledge you'll be able to amass. So it is possible that a person with a certain kind of experience or knowledge in your field, in the creative field, can charge for a logo for $20,000, $10,000, and all of that, and you are scared, you are panicking. Okay, what did this person do? All right, what did this person do to do that? Besides, I can actually do more than this person because your limiting beliefs told you, or where you were born told you that logo is designed for 500 naira or 1,000 naira, as the case may be. So, that being said, I wanted, first of all, to look into number one, the impact of the creative space, impact of the design you make, the videos you make to a product or a business. The other day, I posted a video, or sorry, a picture of the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And I told some people, right, if they're able to understand why I posted that or why that post was shared, it's going to change a lot of things in their mind. Now, the people at the top of that ladder, let me tell you, their problem is not money. Their problem is not what they are going to eat or drink. Now, the people right below on that same ladder have a problem of money, have a problem what to eat or drink. And if you're a Christian here, you bear me witness where the Bible said that take no thought in your mind what you are going to eat or drink. Write it down. Take no thought in your mind what you're going to eat or drink, because even the birds of the air don't have that as a problem. They don't have that as a problem. The birds of the air don't have that as a problem. All right. Somehow they get provided for. So that is to say, immediately a human being start taking thoughts in his mind, start using his brain to calculate what he's going to eat or drink. What happens is that he start living a life like a bird. All right. Now, you the purpose has been defeated of why you're a human, because at that point, you and fowl or goat, no much difference. All right. So I'm going to be like saying some things that will be very disturbing. So number two part of it says, seek ye first the kingdom and its righteousness. Now you see the people at the top of that ladder, they can do anything to get there and to stay there. Now take for instance BB Niger that we all love, and like. Do you think, or in your mind, do you think that the people organizing the BB Niger you watch are doing it? I mean, do you think they're doing it for money? The real hosts, because nobody have told us the people that are hosting the BB Niger. All right. Now, I normally take reference. I tell people, go and check the movie Squid Game. It's a typical display of what happens within that ladder. A typical display of what happens within that ladder. So what happens there? All right. These guys have already attained a state of fulfillment. Now, what is giving them joy is maybe some form of purpose, some form of, they need something deeper than money. Money is no longer a problem where these guys are. Okay, Mims is around. Money is no longer a problem where these guys are. All right. So they sit down at that point to develop ideas, to develop things, to create concepts that is actually going to drain money from the poor and bring more money to them. So for them, value is money. And now that is how creatives are being paid. Now let me explain. For every product that comes to the market, it goes through stages of development, technical development, from the part of the product requirements, from part of product research, people research, and then market research that has to do with pricing and all of that. Then we'll now start looking for creative ways to get a particular audience to buy into that product. All right. So if you're going to be selling your service as a creative person, if you're going to be, creating value, finding joy in what you do, and you feel like you need to get paid what you're worth, it is very important that you start thinking like those people that are creating value for the purpose of satisfaction and not just to make money. The truth of the matter is that you are going to make a whole lot of money, that your purpose, your mind is no longer thinking about money. And that is where we need to get to. Now, money is very important to develop your skill. We're still going to talk about that, right? But let's deal with the purpose. Let's deal with, yes, we understood you learned from, business center, all right, from cyber cafe. But right now, what are you doing? Maybe you've left, you are looking for, you are not yet so good with your skill. You are not even confident enough. You've not built that confidence to be able to sell your product in such a way that you can price smartly. All right. Who told you that whatever you are being charged or whatever you are charging right now is exactly what you're supposed to be charging? Because the value of a thing is also determined by where the thing is. Why is it that you don't complain when you go to maybe Chicken Republic and the bottle of Coke there is 500, but right on your street that same bottle of Coke is 200? Now, what changed is the location of that value. The location of that value. Every single value you create will be priced with the mentality of people in that location. So the same product that are pricing you at Upwork for $5, somebody is sitting there in the comfort of his room, they are begging the person for $100, and the person is not in Upwork or Fiverr. So now it's time to review that. So for you to understand, your environment matters a lot, right? So it's either you are changing your environment is changing you. So one of them is going to happen. Either a changing environment is changing you. So if you are having a serious issue, because I know a lot of creatives have issue with pricing, they have issue with all of that, I think you should start looking for the kind of value or structuring your creative skill in such a way that the kind of value that you are bringing is equal to the kind of value that can create more businesses for companies, that can generate revenues for companies. And trust me, they are going to pay you what you're worth or what you think you're worth. Companies think value, businesses think value. How do you identify and how can you identify some of this value? There is no other way to do that than to start looking into these companies. If you want to be a creative that you want to work for, or you want to start branding or want to start creating content for airlines, start looking into the value chains within the airline space. Okay, what do these people want? Oh, I'm seeing the kind of content they are doing, I'm seeing the kind of things they are doing. What can I do differently? How can I structure this differently? Think of value, think of the chains that bring money to them. Think of the chains. Think of the chains. You have the customer service chain. You have the pilot. You have the engineer chain. You have the all of that. Now, sometimes when you're having a lot of things that have helped me, right, in this journey, right, a lot of things that helped me. Most clients, before I even engage in second conversation with them, I go to research their business, research it so well that I have that conversation with them as though I'm the owner of that business. So what happens is that they can trust me. And if I give them my price, if I tell them what I want to charge, they are not paying it right now because they have the money. They are paying it right now because they trust me well enough, because I've understood their business even beyond. I've seen 5 years potential from this business, then I can charge. All right. So I don't know if you're a content creator here, or you believe in your skills so much that you don't research on companies. So from tonight, make a list of 10 to 15 companies you want to research on, or industry you want to research on. Understand their value chain. So if you're a logo designer, if you're a graphic designer, if you're whatever you do, now figure out the kind of message or how you can improve your delivery to be able to give you such access. They say there is no job. Now you when no sabi work. There is job, just you don't know the work. You don't know how it works. All right, you don't know how it works. You don't know how it works. So business relate to business. The number two thing, they come on one of some of the impacts of your creative skill to a business is that you need to understand that there no business makes money without advertising, without marketing. So they can spend 5 days in the boardroom, they can spend a million years planning, budgeting, and all of that. If it doesn't get to the masses, it's not going to work. So now you need to rethink your creative approach. Write in the comment section, rethink your creative approach. So what it means is that you need to start thinking as or like a marketer. So if you are about to start designing, your design have to tell a story. Your design have to tell a story. Let go of those people smiling on LinkedIn, TikTok, what's the name? Instagram. Let go of those stock images that have kept you stuck. Let go of them. Let go of them. Start thinking. Start creating insightful stories with your creative talent. Think of how a user is going to receive this information. Think of the common use case. I used to tell my creative guys, look, excuse me. I used to tell them, do not go for the unexpected. Go for the unexpected. So if I'm required to say, okay, um, um, we are all out to, to create an awesome experience for your brand or for your product and all of that. And the next thing you are going to see a designer doing is a man smiling and shining a white teeth. Do you understand? And then I'm wondering, that same thing, that same human being has been used by 10 other people. All right, the part of my creative journey that made everything different for me, as a matter of fact, is the ability to think for myself. All right, and think for the business. So if I have a project to do, I will take it more seriously as though I'm being paid $1 million. So if you're handling a project because they're paying you 5K, therefore, is it not just 5K? What can you even do? There is low possibility. In fact, it's not even possible that you are going to make more than that 5K. You're going to stay there because that is the value you've placed on yourself and on the product. The value you placed on a thing, or the value something is being placed, determines your attitude towards it. The value that is placed on a thing affects the attitude you put towards it. If you place a high value on yourself, you're going to pay so much value to improve on yourself. You're going to spend time on improving yourself, sharpening your skill to be able to get you to that place you are. Please take note of this. Your talent brings you to the place of wealth. Wealth doesn't give anybody talent. It's not the other way around. The gift makes a way for you. It brings me to the third thing. If you think marketing or you need to move to the next level, or if you feel it's time for you to move to the next level with your creative talent, it's time for you to now start thinking, how do I show what I'm doing? How do I let the people know what I'm doing? All right, your friends are not your clients. The contact lists are not your client. Anyway, later in this conversation, we are going to start looking into, possible and strong means of marketing yourself, and then networking forward, right? So I'm going to be bringing up a logo designer, Classic Memes, who I've known him for a time now. I've seen him grow, like he has done amazing stuff. His content is all over the place, and I'm going to be having a conversation with him. We're going to be talking a whole lot on the common questions or the common things he gets every other day, and the kind of mindset we use in this creative space. So while I bring him on, I'm going to jump onto the Miracle You Are Live. So I'm going to say this. All right, I'm going to say this while I bring him on. In the coming conversations, we are going to be looking into how to elevate yourself, how to network forward with your soft skills, and how to create effective communication channels, and maybe communication channels for your client and for yourself. And we're going to look into communication. We're going to look into negotiation. We're going to look into creative and financial freedom as we go. Then we're going to look at the legal side of things. So get your pen and paper. Is about to get more serious right now. So, Classic, thank you very much for joining us in this conversation. How am I feeling like you find or varize this? All right. So, so yeah. So I need you to like tell the audience, more about yourself and what you do, and the common. Let's start with more about yourself and what you do. So if you are still joining us, share the link, get more people to join in and learn from these conversations. Yeah, over to you.
Hi, my name is Miracle. My name is Miracle Buji, but everybody knows me as Classic Memes. I'm a graphic designer. I'm more or less a brand identity designer right now, and I've been designing for a little over 7 years now. So yeah, it's been a long time coming. Yeah, and I also make content on Instagram and YouTube surrounding my design processes and everything design related.
Yeah. So, Miracle, your YouTube and Instagram page. Some people said you did jazz, right? That you collected automobile from Ngwa. So, how would you debunk some of these things? Because over in a few days or in a few time, your page blew up. There is this extraordinary thing that just happened. So what was, I won't say is the secret, right? Because there's no straight road to success, right? And I believe all of us are still working towards it. But what were the habits you developed during this growth process?
The thing is, in as much as if you go online, there's so many videos talking about formulas and how to do this or how to do that. I don't think there's an actual formula on how to get or how to grow on social media. But I think the most important thing is consistency. Is the most important is consistency. I feel like when you put out so many videos over a space of time, you that's when you now realize that if you put out 10 videos, there's a big chance that one or two of them gets big from nowhere. But all that matters is that you just have to be consistent. About a week ago, Instagram gave me a notification that I have posted 250 reels, and I was like, how is it that I've made how is that I've made 250 videos over the space of a year and a half? And it's
Wow.
actually crazy when I think about it, but I think that's the spirit of consistency. When I started posting reels back to back, I was posting 3 reels every week. Then I'll post static content in between. So I was posting every day. I was posting 5 times a day from Monday to Friday. Then I'll skip the weekends. So that was really the background of my page blowing up, was because of how much consistent I was. So I think that's the basic thing. Another thing that made my videos much better was I was showing people what they wanted to see, and I was showing it in a way that was very clear. I noticed that so many people love my work, they love my designs, but they get confused as to how did you arrive at this design? How did you get to this final product? So my first few videos that I did very well was videos of me showing my design process, starting from the sketch, then to me moving to Illustrator, and then to me getting to the final design. So people just love seeing that design process. So that's another thing. Finding a way to show people something that will benefit them in any way. Yeah, that's one of the things that made it go very well. And one of the most important ones as well is quality. Yeah, it's quality. So in the best to anyhow that you can, just try and get enough quality on your videos, whether it's in audio production, whether it's in how it looks, or good camera angles and all that, so that people actually enjoy it when they are looking at it. So I think these are the
All right.
very basic.
Yeah. Thank you very much about for that. So another thing I think people want to also because you spoke about consistency, and the truth of the matter is that consistency is not cheap, right? There are a lot of over analyzing. People are still trying to understand where they belong, how they can do their stuff. So at this juncture, you can ask a question, right? You can ask a question. If you have any question, you can actually ask in this particular conversation, right? Showing up consistency and all of that. It's easy to say, right? It's easy to talk about consistency, but a lot of people struggle with what to do, how to do it, when to do it, and all of that. So
Yeah.
I really want to know how you're able to stay focused. I know a lot of people at some point even might have started over analyzing things. Or what will people say? Is it even good enough? Am I doing as much good? Who is going to watch it? I'm not a social media person, yet I like what they're doing, and I spend my data watching other people doing their stuff. So what can you say about that?
The thing about me is that I've always been a carefree person and nonchalant person. So I know it's not the same with every other person, but I've always been the kind of person that doesn't really care what other people say. And I started posting on TikTok and Instagram because I just loved making videos then. So that was my idea. I just loved the idea of making videos. So, in as much as my videos were not getting any views, I still wanted to share them because it was good to me, and I just enjoyed the fact that I'm creating designs and I'm now doing something else that's not designing, and I'm now making videos as well. So, staying consistent is not easy, especially when you're not getting the particular feedback that you want. Let's say you spend hours working on a video and then you get only 100 views. It's not very encouraging. It hurts. There was a period where I was averaging about 2,000 views for like a month, and it was terrible. And I actually wanted to stop, but I was like, "Ah, if I stop, then I'm going to kill all the hard work that I've already built over the past few months." So I what I did was I took a break from posting, and I analyzed my videos and tried to figure out what I did wrong or what made it not work anymore. And then I started fixing those things. So for me personally, then I noticed that maybe my video production wasn't really good anymore, or maybe I started focusing so much on different things. I started looking for TikTok trends and trying to jump on TikTok trends that would, those and I started using audios that did not really fit into what I was doing. It's like when I create a video, then I go and pick an audio that people used to dance on TikTok, and then I start putting it in my video. I don't know if that makes sense. But I started mixing so many niche together that wasn't really what I was supposed to put out. Then so I just went back and I watched my videos back, and I decided to just make changes overall. So it's very disheartening when your videos are not doing as they should, or when you're not getting that encouragement. But honestly, the only thing you can do is to be consistent. Because let's
Hmm.
face it, if you decide to quit, you might as well. If you decide to quit, you're not even getting anything. The little 100 views that you're getting, you're not even getting. You get zero. So at least 100 views is better
Hmm.
than getting zero. So you might as well. So you might as well just keep posting, and one day one of them will definitely blow up from nowhere. So that's how I keep it in check.
Yeah. So it's what I think we need to we need to say this. The goal is not for you to blow, right? Maybe people
Yeah.
have issues with blowing. So like the goal, I think, yeah, like what do you think should be the goal? Because I think if we get the goal, the right mindset, all these other things are going to automatically fall in, right? Because people, their plan is to blow, like, right, like to make it, right? Why you're not selling, why you're not selling a product, or you're not selling something. I know at some point it might come to that point, but is the goal really to blow? What should be the goal for people, in their minds?
The goal is to reach. The goal is I don't. I feel like the goal differs from different people. There are people that want to give back to the community that gave back to them. Personally, for me, I learned
Yeah.
everything I learned on graphic design online, and I've always had the goal of I'll reach a certain stage where I'll find a medium to give back to this community that gave to me, and that will be me sharing my knowledge with other people. So that's part of my goal. Another goal for me is I want to get more clients for my jobs, and so the goals. I don't think as a designer, your goal should be to blow. So I don't know. I want that to be your goal. I don't know whether you want to be a celebrity. If that's your goal to be a celebrity, then sure, why not? But I think the major goal for us should be to attract more clients to yourself and to give back to the community. You have this certain knowledge that you know that somebody somewhere will definitely learn from. In fact, there are some things that you as a designer you've learned on your own that if you go to YouTube right now and search it, it's not there. It's your duty
Hmm.
a video on it and show other people that
Hmm.
probably have come through such problems. So
Hmm.
your goal shouldn't be to be a TikTok influencer or be an Instagram, unless that's what you want. Then that's okay as well. But I feel like the major
Hmm.
goal should be give back to people and let people learn from you, and then attract
Hmm.
clients. And
Hmm.
when you're doing well, you actually get two of those.
Hmm. Um. bomb has been shared. Like I need to take cover. So like I think I have a friend. I have a number of people that are struggle. They don't even know what to post. But the truth of the matter is that every single day they solve problems, they encounter problems, they solve some of those problems. I don't know if it is right for us to or for us to believe that they don't have anything to post. So I think that has taken care of that. So for people, right, that are looking forward, like to, I know they want to do some new stuff in 2024, right? So like, what were the lessons you learned in 2023 and the mistakes you made in 2023 you might not be carrying over to 2024, or things we should also look out for in 2024, and that should be it.
Um, I think I think one of the things I want personally for myself in 2024 is to push myself more. There are certain goals I set myself in this year that I didn't quite achieve because I procrastinated so much more that I just felt like, oh yeah, let me just leave it. Well, let's wait till next year. So I think I need to start taking more of those chances. I need to start taking more of those risks. I call it risks because it's those are the things that scare you to do. Yeah, they're not things that you just wake up on and decide to do. They are things that you're actually afraid of to do. So I think with that time you might as well just stand up and start doing it. Yeah, so that's one of the things that I'm really pushing forward to next towards next year. There have certain things that scared me a lot to do this year. So next year I'm telling myself, you know what, there's nothing to be scared of. We're just going to get it done. And the mistakes I made in 2023 would also have to be setting certain goals that I got to a certain point and I ignored them because I felt like I couldn't do them. So there are certain things that we do as creators. There are certain points in our lives as creatives where we feel like um, it's as if we feel like we've gotten to the peak. So you feel like you've gotten to the peak and you're not like I can't go higher than this or I can't do more than this. I've done enough already. So I feel like I got to that stage where I felt reluctant. I felt reluctant and I felt like maybe I've done too much, or maybe I've achieved a lot. So I stopped pushing as hard as I was pushing, say 2021, because I pushed so hard 2021. So I feel like I slowed down a lot this year, and it's not good. I feel like I slowed down a lot
Mm.
this year, so it's not good. So 54, I am not going to slow down again. I just want to push more. So one of the things there's a book I read, and in that book they talked about they talked about what makes someone a professional or what makes a professional. So the author said that for you to be a professional, you have to treat yourself as an amateur. You know, when you're an amateur, you are hungry. When you're an amateur, you want to do things. When you're an amateur, you have this enthusiasm. You just want to learn more. You want to do more. You want to push more. But when you grow and you get to that peak where you're a professional, you feel like, all right, I don't achieve that. I don't have any other thing to push for. I don't have anything to fight for. But when you as a professional, you still have the thinking of an amateur. That means at that
Mhm.
point, when you're a professional, you are still thinking that, oh, I never even learned anything. I'm still an amateur. So I feel like I want to bring that drive back to myself to see myself as an amateur
Mm.
and push myself
Mm.
more to more things next year. So I think that's it for me for
Wow,
next year.
thank you. So if you are learning, if you are gaining value from this conversation, please do well to, drop more likes and then also share to your friends and enemies on Facebook. This is just the beginning, and I am very like I really, because I've been in a space where I feel, or where designers also complain that, oh, we are not being treated right. Oh, they don't value designers. Oh, who is even a designer? What are they even doing? And you hear clients say all manner of things, because we always, or creatives always position themselves as hustlers, right? As people that are, that are hungry, people that, anything goes. So that we are just going to eat, and all of that. But it is not like that. Remember that you are a very powerful part of a value chain, right? Like I said, the companies depend on you majorly to sell products. They depend on you majorly to drive a certain level of audience. They depend on you. You can imagine how much influencers are now being paid to sell products or to get other people to buy products. And that is like one of the powerful things that has happened in 2023 also. So I think the part where you need to keep improving, we need to keep learning, and most importantly, we need to think like amateurs. No matter how professional you think you've gotten, right, you still have a lot of things to do. The road is endless. It's really, 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 really endless, right? Thank you very much, Mr. Miracle. I don't know if there are anything else you want to share with us before we let you go.
Um, I don't have anything to share. I want to say, going into the next year, I think I want to advise. I want to say going into the new year, I would like every creative to be more confident in themselves.
Hmm,
There's something that's attached to self confidence. Most people will see it
hmm,
as pride, but when you have a certain level of confidence in yourself, and then you have your work to back it up, it will really get you
hmm,
far in so many ways. So you can't be confident and you are not as good as your confidence. I don't mean
hmm.
it bad, but,
Another
but
angle.
in as much as you are trying to be confident in what you do, you need to keep learning and keep improving so that when you are being confident, you have your very good work to back up your confidence. So be
Hmm,
confident in a better position to negotiate good prices with people. It puts you in a better position to share your work without being scared of rejection. So it's something that you should build. If I think every designer should really work on that for themselves, building that self confidence
hmm.
within. It will really get you far in every aspect. So yeah, I think that's the final thing I'll have to say.
Yeah, thank you very much. And talking about confidence, I think one of the things that breeds confidence, one of the things that, I feel that is, I know a lot of designers start out today, right? A lot of creators start out today and they are looking for jobs, they are looking for money, they are looking for how to blow, they are looking for all of that. That is really going to affect your confidence a whole lot, right? Like, memes have said, right? One of the things that's going to help you boost your confidence are the things you know, right? So you really have to, work on yourself. You really have to like work really hard on yourself.
Yeah,
When you get good, you will know. See, all these people who are saying, "I looking for client." Once you start getting better, you will know that you are getting better. And don't be driven away. I think people think that the more projects or the more gigs they get is actually they are getting better. Sometimes it's not true. You're actually getting distracted, right? Because you're making small money, you are busy working so hard. Does not mean that there's money
yeah.
in the bank.
There's only
Does not
like
mean that money in the So, so in the coming conversations, we are going to be discussing soft skills and how you can augment your how you can actually work around augmenting your technical skill, know-how, and with other tiny, tiny little behaviors you need to be working on, and that will be on our next conversation. So, maybe do you want to stay or do you want to, be at the waiting room?
I can be on the waiting room. I can be on the
All
waiting
right,
room.
thank you so much. So, thank you very much, and let's go over to the part of soft skills. So, what are soft skills, right? Um, yeah, I need to start recording this one. So, what are soft skills? So, being in an interview panel for a while. I mean, for the past throughout last year and throughout this year, I've interviewed designers, I've interviewed developers, I've interviewed content writers, I've interviewed UI UX designers, and it has actually taught me a lot that most of us that are looking for jobs, most of us that are looking to function in a creative space, are really actually not ready to function in that space effectively, because we are too immersed, we are too focused in the things our hands can do, rather than more than our hands can do. Now, have you noticed that no matter how hard a bricklayer tries, no matter how hard he works, he might not be able to earn as much as the engineer that is not actually lifting any weight at all. Now, this should tell you that the people that do more with their minds, people that understand people, understand other people, and people that have built their level of integrity, administrative prowess, understanding that it doesn't end in their skill. There are more problems to be solved. People that engage in other things, people that, in a team, you try to coordinate, you try to shine, you try to put in more than your best, tend to stand out amongst every other person. So why am I saying this? In most meetings or most events you'll be coming in, our lawyer is here and she's going to be joining us shortly. All right, ma, let me give you some time to look good. And and then before you join in, thank you very much for joining. So right now, there are a few things I will need you to work on immediately, right? As a creative person, get a pen and paper and get to write it down. Number one, you must be a person of integrity. Very, very important. I've had a client complain about how dishonest, how disloyal, how basically dishonesty, creatives can be. And I know a lot of creatives have shown me that side of them as well, right? Where let me not go deep. Let me not go deep. You all of you know yourself, right? So, but what is important if you're able to push that boundary, to become that person that has integrity, that person that can hold you by your word. You can follow up on things. Your values are strong. You are not the kind of person that call clients out when clients are owing. You take it to Instagram. There are better ways to approach such issues. You take it to your status. Clients are wicked. Clients are from hell. Oh, imagine what they did to me today. Some of those things are attribute that you are not ready for the for the future. You're not ready for the future. I've had to try to collaborate with a designer. All right. In the midst of the job, I already knew that he was about to pull out because the pressure was about to get higher, and he actually be paid, right? But in the midst of the trial, in the midst of that period, he pulled out. I couldn't get hold of him. All right. I myself, as a designer showed me this level of shege, right? I don't know what would have happened if it's a client. All right. I don't know what happened if it's a client. I'm shaking table. Then number two, you must improve your level of acceptability. You must be an interesting person. All right. You must be an interesting person. When clients are talking to you or when you're receiving instruction from the clients, you should be able to write a list. You should be able to make a list, right, of the things you are being told. And then how do people accept you? People accept you because you connect with them. So if I'm talking to you, the only way I know you are connecting with me is if you are writing, if you are taking note, something like that. Or by the end of the day, I can iterate what you said back to you. All right. Like it makes a lot of difference. All right. Or you can also remember what people discussed with you. Then the part of discipline is where you'll be able to balance your life and your work. And you have to do it so smartly that as much busy as you are, as you can get, right, you still have a way of making sure you deliver. You are disciplined enough not to mix work and business. We'll still get to that part. Then the part of dedication and commitment to achieving, what you have set for yourself. What it means is that you can go any length to get better because people need your service. All right, companies take their staff to trainings because they need the staff to be better for the company so that they can be better for their clients. So very you must take that part very, 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 very seriously. So right now we're going to be having a lawyer in the house. We're going to be discussing matters relating to legal issues. I believe creatives go through and how you can protect yourself and how you can protect your rights and your business. You need to know all these things before 2024, because some of you might want to run agencies, might want to take more projects. Some of you might want to quit from your job because they are owing you for the past 1 year. You don't know how to do that. I wish I knew that a lawyer could help me retrieve my money by now. I'd have been a billionaire, because the money they have owed me, you know, is a lot. So I'm going to be bringing up the law. Thank you very much for
Hi.
for coming. And yeah, good evening. So
Good evening.
I think, yeah, you're welcome. So I think the guys here, you can share this link to more people to learn about their rights in the legal sense of things, right? You need to learn you need to know your right. And throughout next year, if you need any legal assistance by the end of this conversation, we'll give you access um, um, to Barrister Chijoke. She can, help you do a whole lot, right? You want to register your business, you want to retrieve your money from clients, you want to patent, you want to protect your right, you want to, do all of that. Please, we're going to be having more of this conversation as we go ahead. Thank you very much, Barrister Chijoke. Please
Thank
tell us
you.
more about yourself and what you do, and yeah.
Okay, my name is Chijioke Ochogu. Of course, everyone knows a lawyer. I'm an associate with the law firm of Alex Partners. Alex Partners is ranked as world Africa's leading law firm, and we have top rankings in Nigeria. So, of course, pertaining to your industry, for intellectual property practice, we've got lots of awards and rankings that places us, as Nigerians' most preferred law firm when it comes to intellectual property and, of course, media technology and telecommunications, creatives, basically advisory and all of those. So I've been doing this for the past 9 years, and yeah, I can say that I'm seasoned enough to be able to answer any questions that you may have. Yeah. So do I head straight into it?
Yeah, head
Okay.
straight
Thank
into
you
it. Yeah,
so
tell us
much.
more about this field, and yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Po, for having me. First of all, this is really timely because I feel, when the year is about to start like this, or when the year is about to, when you're about to wrap it up and unwrap a new year, it's very important for you to go back to the drawing board as creatives to know, okay, this is what's worked for me in 2023. What am I going to do differently in 2024? And one of the areas that a lot of people neglect that I noticed from my years of practice, I know. Pardon me, I'm a mom of a little. So if you hear the background noise,
No,
my
that's
baby.
fine. We love
Okay.
kids.
Thank you. So I noticed that lots of creative neglect the importance of legal advisory. You see a startup trying to they have budget for everything but legal. They are trying to start up a project. There's everybody in the project, but there's no legal advisor. There's no space for a legal advisor. I just feel like if lots of creatives begin to put in the importance of legal advisory, there are lots of things that they're not going to fall into. I don't want to even use the word problems. There are lots of problems for trying to, use it mildly, that lots of creative will not find themselves in. There are lots of fights that you should even be taken to court or bringing in your legal person because you literally have the rights, but because you are not even aware that you have these rights, then I mean, how do you even fight for something that you don't even know that you have a right to? So I believe that in the room we have artists, we have writers, we have copywriters, we have designers, we have lots of people. We have graphic designers, right? So all of these things are the things that you do on a daily that puts bread on your table. So it is very important to me that you know where your rights starts and ends, so that you're able to protect it, such that if somebody infringes or tries to make a mess of your brand, or try to abuse rights, try to abuse your privileges of access to you, try to make mockery of your work, or just try to do anything that disturbs that right that you enjoy as a creative, you should know where to start from. Now I'm going to start with this
Mm.
story. In 2011, as far back as 2011, Apple sued Samsung. There's this classical, when a case is most, would I say, it's a classical case, because when it brings out new areas, or when it has like lessons that, or when it has like decisions that begins to acts like a basis, like a foundation, or yes, a basis for which other cases can follow, it becomes a classical case. So
Yeah.
I'm talking about Samsung and Apple. Now Apple sued Samsung, right, for patents you know that had been registered, that Samsung had infringed. And of course, in a system that works in the US, Apple took Samsung to court, and damages were issued against Samsung, and Samsung had to pay. Samsung appealed, and upon appeal, the appellate court still upheld the damages that were issued to Apple. Now, why would Apple even have the guts, or even have, why would they think that they have rights to sue Samsung? You make phones, I make phones. Let me tell you what gave them um, that rights basically is because they knew what their rights are. As creatives, what you have as your legal rights are your intellectual property rights. And I'm sure that these words have been thrown around everywhere, everywhere. Please, you can cut me at any time if
No, no
there are any
problem. No problem. We
questions
are
in the
learning.
chat
I think
room.
your session is really most important. Do you understand?
Yeah.
I can't cut
So
you now.
what you have are what we call intellectual property rights, right? The World Intellectual Property Organization explains, that creativity, skill, talent of literal or artistic creators is also their main means of creating wealth and jobs. So even the World Intellectual Property Organization, that's WIPO, recognizes that your skill, your talent, your creativity, or of any literal or artistic work is your main means of creating wealth and jobs. So how do you protect your means of creating wealth and jobs? Let's delve right into it. Your rights are an entitlement for protecting whatever it is that you create. We're going to look at them in four. Yeah, we're going to look at them in four aspects. We're going to look at it in your copyrights. We're going to look at it. You can protect it as trademarks, patents, and trade secrets. Now, when you hear these things, you'll be like, which one applies to me now? Which one applies to me? Where does it fall under? I often get calls like, lawyer, please, I want to register my trademark. I'm like, okay, what is it that you want to register? And I find out that what you want to register is not even a trademark, it's a copyright. What you want to register is not even a copyright, it's a trademark. So it is always important for you to know where each, where you fall under, basically. Learning that there are many creatives in the room, I'm just going to break it down and just let you know where you fall under, so that if you have anything, you would know where to put it. Let's start with copyrights. Copyrights are your original works of art, books, literal works, music, um, show ideas. Yeah, you register them under the copyrights. So this gives you a right to reproduce, to distribute, to perform. No other person has the right to this, these rights, this unique work of art. That's where your copyright falls under. So if you have a novel, if you have a show, if you have music, if you have a drawing, anything artistic that is originally created by you, and you feel you want to protect it, you want to have rights to use it, you want to have, of course, you can commercialize it, but you want to have the rights to commercialize such um, work of art. That is where it falls under the copyright. So you don't take a novel that you wrote, you don't take a story that you have to the trademarks office. No, it would not be trademarkable. That falls under copyright. Now let's move it to patents. Patents are inventions, discoveries, unique ideas, things that have never existed before. You have a very unique idea, and they are inventions, they have never been seen before or created before, and you have these ideas. These are inventions, these are discoveries, they fall under patents, right? This is where your apps fall under. But of course, when you create an app in Nigeria, for it to be patentable, sorry, there are tests. There are tests that these apps would pass, and if they pass it, then of course they register them as patents. Now let's come to the baba of them all, trademark. For you, that is a brand strategist, it's very important for you to know what trademarks are. Trademarks are registration of symbols, names, phrases, colors, images. This is where it falls under. So if you have a brand, I believe that almost everyone in the room has a brand. If you have a brand, for example, have you seen, okay, let's do this practical example. Dr. Po, is there any way I can hear people in the room, or they just have to drop chats only if I ask a question and I need feedback? Oh, seems like I lost Po there. Okay, so let me just continue.
Continue.
So
I'm
I
having a
wanted to find
network
out if there
issue
was
here.
a way I could, I wanted to find out if there's a way I could get feedback, like if I ask a question,
Yeah,
how
yeah, yeah,
people.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you can get a feedback. I'll
Okay,
check
so
that.
I was asking, have you ever wondered, okay, when you see yellow, what comes to your mind? Yellow. See bright yellow colors. I mean, let me take it back to telecommunications. For telecommunications, when you see yellow, everyone knows that that's MTN, right? When you see red, everyone knows that that's Airtel. When you see glow, when you see green, sorry, everyone knows that that's glow. Now, have you ever wondered why when they are doing their adverts, right, they try to stick to their colors? That's because they've trademarked their branding is under that color. Now, one thing about trademark is when you're trademarking, if you trademark a particular color, you cannot, for whatever reason, go out of that color. But if you, I'm going to give you a trade secret now. But if you trademark black and white, you are free to use any color, and that also means that you cannot be known by a particular color because anybody can use your color. If MTN had trademarked the color MTN, that their logo on black and white, I bet you anyone could have been able to use yellow. But because they've trademarked it under yellow, with yellow as their trade color, right? Nobody can, no telecommunication, right, can use yellow anymore. And that's what trademark gives you. Trademark gives you exclusivity, basically, to be able to um use your brand name, your brand logo. So if somebody uses something, in fact, let me even let you know that once you register your trademark, especially, no one can use something as close that is similar that would make the layman, when I mean the layman, the man in the village, think that you both are the same. It will not be registrable. That's what protecting your trademark gives you, that exclusive rights to use your brand. Now, you may wonder that, okay, so the fourth one, I told you that there are four: trademark, patents, copyrights, and the fourth one is the trade secrets. What makes you different from the next person, right? Um, for example, we're looking at Coca-Cola and Pepsi. Everyone knows that no matter how much, do you even see these games that people are being blindfolded? Then you could taste Coke, and you would know that it is Coke. You could taste Pepsi, and you would know that it is Pepsi. You could taste what's that one that looks like them, Biggie, and you would know the difference. What makes it different is what we call the trade secret. The ingredients that they put, the information that they have is what makes it a trade secret, right? Now, if you're running a brand and there's a way you go about things, right? Oh gosh, I don't know if Poe is still in the room or if you can still hear me.
Yes,
Please,
I
if you
can
can
hear
hear
you.
me,
I can
just
hear
let
you.
me know. Okay, thank
Yes, I
you.
can hear you.
So, the information available to you that makes you different from your competitors, that allows for um what we call healthy competition. Those ingredients, those information. For example, if you see a TY Bello picture, I can tell you, if I wake up from sleep and I see a pre-wedding shoot or an anniversary shoot or something, a birthday shoot, I can tell you when it's a TY Bello, you know, picture. I don't even need to look for the what do you guys call it, the sign off or something like that. I don't need to say, when I see it, I know
The watermark,
the
right?
watermark. Yeah, I don't need to, look out for the watermark. If I see a TY Bello picture, I know. If I see a big H picture, I know. If I see, which other people have? So, I mean, everyone is a photographer. But when you see these particular pictures, you would know. Now, how they edit whatever technique they use to edit, whether to take the pictures or whatever it is that they do that gives it that uniqueness. If you intern with them, if you work with them, you may know it. You know it because you're working closely with them, right? Now, have you ever wondered why you cannot take that out of that space? It's because it's their trade secrets, and they have a right to the protection of their trade secrets. How do you protect your trade secrets? Of course, I've told you about copyright, I've told you about patents, I've told you about trademarks. All of these ones are registrable. But for trade secrets, it's not registrable. Now, this is also very important to you as a brand. If you have people who come under, Paul was talking about, you're working with somebody, they're owing you 100 years and all of those things. If you like, let them owe you 10 million. If you leave, you cannot take their trade secrets out of that brand. They'll sue you for it, because, or even if it is you, if you have someone under your employ, so an intern who came to intern under you, and they take away information that you use, that is unique to you, that helps you to make your money and your income. Like, you remember when I told you that the World Intellectual Property Organization recognizes that your creativity, your skill is what, your main source of wealth and job. So if this information that these people are privy to have a basis of, adding to your wealth or to your means of creating jobs, and they take it away, they are in breach, and you can be sued for it. Either ways, if someone does it to you, you can sue. If you do it to someone, they can sue you. Yes. So these trade secrets, how do you protect your trade secrets? Because they are not registrable. So someone will ask, barista, how do I protect my trade secrets? In fact, I have a way of mixing yellow and blue so that it comes out very unique. How do I protect it? I have people I'm working with, and I have jobs to deliver. And I need to tell these people how to achieve these things, because I need my work to go on. How you protect these is by signing non-disclosure or confidential agreements. So people ask, what's that? That's actually a document where you sign off. You can sign it with your intern. In fact, I know places that when you go to intern, you sign a non-disclosure agreement that any information, any knowledge that you have from here, you cannot take it out. You cannot tell the next person. You cannot tell, especially the competitors, right? So everyone, once you sign that non-confidential agreement, it's binding on you. You cannot take out information without consent. And even consent, Sef, who gives consent for their trade secrets anyways? So you've seen people work with Coca-Cola, they've left Coca-Cola. Why don't they take it to Pepsi to make Pepsi make their drink, test as close as what Coke tastes? It's the trade secrets. So you have a right to when you know that you're dealing with unique information that makes your brand stand out. Please and please and please always get a lawyer to draft a non-disclosure agreement for you. If you will not take anything away from this webinar, please take this away. That one, in fact, once you have anything that you're doing, always make sure that if you are bringing in people, they should sign non-disclosure agreements. Your letter of employment with them should always have that clause where they sign and agree not to take out confidential information away from your organization, out of your organization. If you're able to do this, you've solved, would I say, 80% of any intellectual property issue that you may have. Now, once you're able to protect your rights, somebody will ask, okay, lawyer, I went to take a photograph. I designed this logo. I did this, I did that, I did that. Who owns the intellectual property? Very important, right? So this is a very dicey question, but it's very simple. Now, when somebody is a creator of an art, when somebody is a creator of something, you'd ask, can I protect it? Now, this is a clause. If you did it for somebody, you own it. But if you are doing it, if you were commissioned to do it, if you are under the employment of somebody, right? For example, Dr. Poe is your employer, and he pays you to do work. Anything that you do in the course of that work belongs to him. I don't know if you get this, right? So anything you are doing in contract of service, you do not own the intellectual property. Your employer does. So if you're working in Coca-Cola and you have a very nice idea, you have this very nice logo, or you have this very nice design that you built, you have this very nice idea that you give to them, that in the course of carrying out your duty as an employer, as an employee, if you're leaving, whatever royalties from that work, whatever rights in that work do not belong to you. They belong to your employer. If you're an independent contractor, if you're an independent contractor, if you're an independent contractor, you're contracted to do a job, it belongs to you, except this person who pays you to do this work gets you to sign an agreement that transfers the intellectual property rights on that material, on that work, to them. So you have to know the difference. If you're an independent person, these intellectual property rights belong to you. However, if you're doing it in the course of an employment, your employer is the owner of this intellectual property right. So you cannot be leaving a place they owed you for 100 months and you are leaving and say, hey, all the royalties in that story. I work in African Magic and I gave them a story that has brought in 3 billion, that has brought in 3 billion. You're leaving. You're like, give me royalties. Nah, it doesn't belong to you. You were doing it under an employer-employee relationship, and it belongs to your employer. But if African Magic brought you from outside to do the work, except they have an agreement that transfers the intellectual property to you, you have it, right? I hope that this confusion
Yeah. No.
is
Yeah.
sorted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I
So
hope our audience. I
basically,
hope you guys are learning, right? So you stop misbehaving. And you stop.
if you want to drag them, say, I'm going to take the right, I'm going to give me my royalties. Nah, fam. Nah, fam. You need to know when it is yours and when it is not
There's
yours.
problem.
Yeah, so yeah, that's it basically. Your intellectual rights, know where they start from, know where it ends, and know how to know where to press for it. Now, the next question that somebody may ask is, if my rights are being infringed on, how do I get compensated for it? Okay, I'll tell you. If you have rights that have been infringed on and you're like, lawyer, what should I do? How do I get back my intellectual property? How? These people have used this thing to make money. So for example, I had a client some time ago. Um he took pictures of a client. A client walked into his studio and it's like, no. My client walked into a studio and took pictures with this photographer. And this photographer goes out to, okay, edit the pictures, gave him, he paid, and story. My people will say Okwagu. But really, Oku did not go because he now saw billboards in Lagos. My client stays in Ukraine, and he saw billboards in Lagos. People were taking pictures of billboards and adverts online, and it was this picture. When he took this picture, right, he did not take this picture for this purpose, right? He took it based on, I'm just here to take a picture, and this picture turns out really nice, and this photographer thinks, I could make some money off this very nice picture, and this big brand comes and pays him and takes it off. It's like, lawyer, what happened? This is my picture flying everywhere. That's your picture. But who took the photograph? The guy who owns the intellectual property. However, there are ways that this can be sorted. And I'm not going to give you free legal advice. No, Paul, you're not going
No,
to
sure, 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 sure,
you're
sure,
not going
sure.
to make me go into it. But the owner of
No, no,
the
no.
person who took this photograph owns the intellectual property. Now, what the other guy may be suing for will be different from the intellectual property right. He may sue for some other things, for maybe his fundamental right to privacy or something, or his image was used without his consent or something like that. But if it's the intellectual property, it's owned by the person who took the picture. Now you may ask, in this case, if somebody uses, so if I give a client a work that belongs to me and they use it to go make some money, what do I do? You can sue. And these are ways that the court would grant you, um, you know, would I say, they would basically put you back or try to put you back to where you were before there was a breach. One of the ways is, okay, so the court can give you an injunction to the other party who is in breach, to stop the use of this particular brand, to stop the use of the logo, to stop the use of anything that you feel that they are using against your consent. They can also give you damages. They can award damages. You hear people say, oh, I got damages in court. You can get monetary damages. You can get, maybe the court can award. It depends really on the peculiarity of whatever it is that that you're suing for. Whatever the it depends on the peculiarity of your case as well. So just know that when you go to court, if you have a rights case, you can have damages, you can have injunction. They can even They can even give like an order where all royalties that have been made on those artistic work, be paid back to you. You can sue for passing off if somebody is using your brand to deceive the public, or something similar to deceive the public, to make it look like we're in collaboration or we're one and same people. You have rights to sue for passing off, and the court would award damages in your favor. But remember that you cannot even have all of these things if you are not registered, if you are not protected. Nigeria's trademark runs on a first come first serve strategy. The first person to register it is the owner of the trademark. So you are Okonkwo and Sons, you have Instagram page, you have social media logo, you have everything, but you don't have a trademark. You have nothing. Because if you start using it in 2011 and somebody comes in 2023 and goes to trademark registry and register Okonkwo and Sons, oh boy, guess who's the owner? The first person who registered it. The first person who registered it is the owner of this brand. So whatever, what or anything else that you're saying, you just, maybe it's a gentleman agreement that would sort it. But if the first person that registered it is the person that is recognized, as the owner. So it's very important for you that as you're going into 2024, if you have any unique symbols, any unique names, any unique phrases, whatever it is that you want to register, that you want to use, that you want to continue to use as a means of creating wealth for yourself, it's very important that you protect these things such that you're able to have rights, protect yourself, basically. Protect yourself. And this brings me to the fact that lots of creatives run businesses without registering, without making their businesses distinct from them. They call you, what is your name? Okpeyemi. They want to pay money to you, Okpeyemi. You have everything, Okpeyemi. Or meanwhile, or sometimes you even go as far as maybe giving yourself a brand name. IDO. I do concepts. I do concepts is not registered in CAC. I do concepts is not registered with the trademarks. I do concepts had a story. I do concept did not register it in copyrights. Somebody comes, Nollywood comes, takes the story, runs with it, copyrights it. I do concept now start shouting on social media.
I
You have
do.
nothing.
You don't do anything, no.
You did not do nothing. So you mean if you really want to do, you should register it, protect yourself, register it at the CAC, register it at the trademarks office if you've got any brands or symbols or anything. If it's an artistic work of art, register it in the copyright office. In fact, some of these things, you think that you need millions of naira to do them. You would be shocked how much you really do need to do these things. They are very little money compared to if what you stand to lose if you do not take these steps, right? So it's very important for you to take 10 steps ahead. Always be proactive. Be proactive in guiding your brand as a person, because you cannot be a brand strategist. You that is brand strategist, you don't even have brand that is standing on good leg. You're building brands for other people, right? So as a creative, it's very important for you to protect yourself. Protect yourself is legally, really, is what and some people say, man, nobody knows me, nobody knows me. But at you'll be shocked at what can happen. It just takes a snap of a finger for somebody to steal your idea, for somebody to steal your brand, for somebody to pretend you think you are just a small startup, small business, something small. There's one that is smaller than medium. You bring yourself, you think you're small until a big brand sees what you have, takes it and makes it big. Then you start to Oh, this is my own, this is my own. But if you are not protected, then you have no rights basically to be shouting that this is your own. So yeah. Any questions? I'm open to.
Wow. So yeah, thank you, Chijoke. I know a lot of people have questions. Somebody asked if you are a freelancer, um, would you be able to sue a firm if they infringe on your property right? Is a no, right?
Sorry, if you're a
If you're a
freelancer.
freelancer, would you be able to,
Uh-huh.
sue a company for making use of your rights or infringing, sorry, on them?
Yes. So I'll explain to you that there are modalities for going after these things. If you're a freelancer, remember I told you that if you're a freelancer, you should be careful because as the creator of this artistic work, you own it. But some of you just they give you as agreements and you just sign it. You don't even know what you are signing. You don't
Oh,
even know that you've transferred your intellectual property to this company. So you think, oh, you go and tell a lawyer. They tell you, oh, you can sue, we can go. Then we match. When we now reach there, when they now present documents, they present documents that shows that you've actually transferred your rights. So if you don't even have rights, what are you suing for? So if you're a freelancer, if you're commissioned, you have to know if you were engaged as an independent contractor, as a freelancer, or for a job. If you're regarded as an employee, if you're not regarded as an employee, did you sign any agreements that make you transfer your rights to them? But if not, trust me, you can sue. But before you sue, are you protected?
wow. Thank you so much. But I think at a point we can't hear you now. I think, so is she saying something? Are you
No,
saying
no, no,
something?
no,
Okay.
no, no.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for this powerful insight. So I think you can we reach out to you via your handle or through your company? So how do we do that? Because we'll have more and more workshops like this. They're actually going to be paid because this is just like a grace for people after now. Most of the things I'll be doing online, we have to go through some route, right? Before we get them because people don't, this is just like anybody that is here is just, lucky to be here to have this opportunity because after now, all our workshops are going to be premium, they're going to be paid for. We're going to be walking you through, we're going to be giving you all necessary assist from the companies we're going to be partnering with to make this possible. So, as a creative person, you're lucky to be here. But going forward, right from next year, um, maybe people that have their emails that signed up, might get some offers, but more trainings, more programs is going to be, especially when it comes to first of all registering your companies. I'll make sure that the company give you guys discounts to be able to do some
Discounts, yeah,
stuff, yeah,
yeah.
the right way. Then you have an official lawyer. Not immediately they give you paper to sign. You go and carry biro, right? So about 3 or 4 times I've signed NDAs. I send them to a lawyer. They argue with, okay, what and what are these, what and what are that. I'm sure that, okay, it's just a non-disclosure, right? It's just a non-disclosure, and you know and every other thing was sorted. So even creatives themselves that are also going to be engaging with clients next year, they'll be needing to do some of the things like service level agreements where they can also
Yeah,
state their own rules, especially projects that are wide. But the fact, the last point you said about coming off as a company, registering a company name, give yourself that privilege, right, to operate as a business, right? It will make a lot of sense. It will even affect your charge, how you charge, what you charge, and also make the company take you seriously. So I think this is good, and we really, really appreciate your time making out time. I know you've been up and down at different weddings and parties. You made out time to be here with us this night. We really appreciate. We don't take it for granted.
Thank you.
Like we
Thank you.
promised, I will take our conversations to the next level. We're going to do a lot of partnerships with your company next year with our Rethink community as we get towards having a more successful 2024. This is a sensitization that already started. We'll keep doing it and see where it takes us. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you. All right.
Yeah,
Have a
thank you
nice
so much.
evening.
Yeah, yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, bye. So I hope you guys are getting a lot. And next year, a lot of you don't have business. You don't really have the business. I don't know what you are doing, and I think you should start thinking about that already. You should start thinking of how to take your brand to the next level. These things are not for everyone. All right, this conversation, I believe some designers are in their house now looking for a client to bill, looking for how to collect it. You are here planning on how to strategically position yourself as a business. To do business with business, you have to be a business. So before I bring on the last guest, I'm not sure if he's here yet, but I want to explain to you guys something. Finally, there's still a lot to talk about, but because of time, negotiation is a win-win thing, right? It's a win-win. So whenever you want to negotiate with anybody, you should know that your goal is to present your value in such a way that the person that you're presenting his value to sees himself as winning, and you also see yourself as winning as well. All right. So the W for your win is bigger than the W for the person's win. So what this means is that for every part of your business, for every part of any project you want to take on, you must ask yourself a very important question. How do I make my client win? Or how do I make them feel they are winning? All right. In this situation, that is to say, if they win more, that means I'm going to win more. All right. So people always tell you, oh, they don't have money, They have not seen what they're going to pay for. All right. That is it. So what are the things that make you, how do you do this? How is this possible? First of all, you need to understand that people make decisions because of emotions. They make decisions because of their emotions, right? They make more emotional decisions than logical decisions, as a matter of fact, right? But I won't go deep down into that, but I'm going to mention about 3 or 4 things you should take note of whenever you are bidding or whenever you want to collect money from your client. Number one, you have to position yourself or position whatever you are selling as something that is going to save them more money. All right. Or package your product or package your set of designs or contents as in a way that it feels that it's going to save them more money doing it with you than doing it elsewhere. So figure that out. For more information on this, um, you can you can stay tuned. I'm going to be sharing that on social media. Then number two is that you're going to make them feel that if they service with you or if they work with you, people are going to think that they are more authentic, all right, with you than other people, and you need to have proof to back that up. And finally, which there are still more, but because of time, but finally, you should be able to make them understand that this is going to increase the value of their own products by working with you, or trying to buy your service or get you to work with them. So it is not always about you and what you can do. That is why I said in the beginning of this conversation, you have to do your research and find the value, find that center point of value where your client is willing to pay as much as you ask for. So we're going to be releasing more programs, more courses, and this might probably be the last time I'll be doing anything online on these platforms, unless I'm invited by someone, for free. So take advantage of these things. Take advantage of these places, or these spaces we are creating, or places we are in, and then we'll take it up from there. So before we go, any question? So we can wrap it up here. We had just 2 hours for this conversation. Before we go, any questions, so we can wrap it up. Any questions for me? Okay, I don't seem to be getting questions. We have 15 minutes. If you have any question, please come in. And if you want to join me on in the studio, you can, let me know so I can give you the link. You can join and ask your question or say something before we. All right. Mr. Lekon is here. Thank you very much, Mr. Lekon, for joining us. So, I'm going to be asking, I'm going to be having a conversation with you just briefly about industry designer. For example, you want to be getting a job in a company next year. You want to work with a company. You want to have more industry experience. You want to work in an organization as a designer or a brand expert and all of that. So I think Lekon is worth listening to. So Mr. Lekon, 2024, what should we be expecting designers to know, and how do we get them to position better for a successful year, especially industry design guys that work with companies or with organizations?
All right. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for having me here, Dr. Poe. Privilege. Can everybody hear me? Can you hear me, Dr. Poe?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
All right. Thank you very much. So I think it's really, what's the question you have brought up is really vital. Um, Sorry, just give me a minute. I'm having some echoes there.
Yeah. Okay, it's
Okay,
clear
sorry
now.
about that. I had another device playing in the background. So,
Okay.
designing in the corporate world is something that is a bit very tricky because I know most designers got off as freelancers, right? We most of us started as freelancers, one time or the other, probably when we were in school or when we just got out of school. Our first jobs weren't really corporate jobs, right? So, going into the corporate world is something that sometimes entirely different, right? So, how you coordinate yourself, things that you do, the etiquette, your courtesy, your soft skills are something things that are really important. And I think one thing that will make you stand out, or one thing that you should prepare for going to 2024 if you want to transition into corporate or go into designing for corporate organizations, it's your soft skills, right? So your communication skills is something that will top that list, right? It's very, very vital, right? So when you are freelancing and probably you are working with a client on Fiverr or somebody that a client that you met on IG posting your work, the communication is really at that point low level, right? But when it gets to the corporate world, because communications are in cadres, right? You're not just communicating with one person at sometimes. You're communicating with a whole department. You're communicating with you are giving a communication that will transition the person that you're talking to directly, right? So I might be talking to the brand manager, right? I might be talking to the content writer, right? But that communication I'm sending to that person transition beyond that person because that person needs to go further to send the same message to the brand manager, to his or her supervisor, to the to the MD sometimes, or the CEO sometimes. So you need to your communication skills is something that you should take very seriously, right? You do not joke with communications at all, right? So going into corporate world, you have to really on your soft skills and make sure that
Hmm.
you are ready for it. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. That was brief and insightful, and I think that is most underrated thing. I think I also experienced that when I first got into the corporate. It's a different world. I don't know. I'm not sure if people are ever ready. I'm not sure how ready someone can be, to get in there. But
And right.
when you get there, you understand.
Mm,
You understand
that's
how it
so
works, right? The
it's
first time.
expect that that's why the other platforms like this are very important just to prepare you ahead
Yeah,
because
yeah.
if you are not aware at all, it's going to hit you by surprise and you might be your first few months you might be dangling on the line, right? Not knowing how to catch up. But
Yeah,
then if you are prepared,
yeah.
at least if you are not 100% prepared, once you are aware
Mm,
that you are going to meet something like this, the impact will be lesser.
yeah, yeah. That's absolutely true. Right? I can remember sending emails. I can remember sending emails with that subject. And so, and because you did a lot of emails as a freelancer, what you do is mostly chat, just
Yeah.
send whatever, just say anything you like, right? Like, let us say
Mm-hmm.
you are chatting with a full organization, like you are missing a
Mm-hmm.
full organization. So the way you sound, the words you use,
Mm-hmm.
matters a lot. When you deploy that mail, the mood that mail comes in, because every word matters when you are communicating
Mm-hmm.
in the corporate space. Every single word matters. Or in the mail, we can determine if you are angry or if you are rude or if you are, um, I think one of our interns then um, wrote a mail, and I think I've forgotten how she put it. It was supposed to say, oh, like you should also do this or should help us get this, right? But it came off really crazy. Like it was the words that were used were,
Right.
just a recent case that happened. Someone wanted to say, please, can I get more time, so I
Mm-hmm.
can have the meeting, and he said, this is wrong timing. The same communication, different meaning.
Mm-hmm.
different,
Exactly.
the same thing. So I think, yeah, I think before people should get into that space, they should really go and go and go and study,
You
go
should
and
test
just
communication. Exactly.
prepare
And so
for a lot of communications. Yeah.
exactly. And one other thing that is also important is learning how to collaborate, right? Learning how to be a
Mm,
team player, right? It's
mm,
really very vital, right? I know to some extent creatives are already collaborators, right? You collaborate on some low level basis
or
with
people
your
within
fellow
your
design.
space. Mhm.
Yes, so to with your face. But when you get to the corporate world, you're going to transcend that, right? You might be the
Mm,
representative of your department collaborating with another department, right? So your languages might be different. So you have to learn
mm,
how to speak, how to collaborate with people that are not in your space, right? So you don't go out there throwing out big words or words that are very cliche, traditional to your field or your own space, right? In as much as you want to stay professional, you shouldn't go overboard in trying to throw us around, right? So collaboration is very important as well as time management, right? Time management is another thing that is really, really vital when you're working in a corporate world because everything is timed, everything is timed, everything is timed. So you need to deliver on time and in time, right? If you are not going to meet up to deadlines, you need to communicate, right? So these skills overlap each other: collaboration,
mm.
time management, communication. So when you're, for instance, you're not meeting up with the deadline, you need to communicate, right? And which is
As
when you
early
actually
as you can.
as,
Yeah.
as early as not after the deadline as so these are things that you need to imbibe, attitudes that you need to imbibe, right? If you are going to get into the corporate world as a creative, as a designer, contractor, a scriptwriter, a
Mm,
photographer, right? These are things that because I mean, again, as creatives, there are a lot of things that we do in our space that we get away with, right?
mm.
If we're working with clients, you are the CEO of yourself at one point, right? But when you get to the corporate world, you understand that you're no longer the CEO of yourself, right? There are people that you
ah,
report to, and you have to be responsible.
things are happening. Things are happening, to be honest.
We think
So
about something to
yeah, so I guess we'll have to continue this conversation on other platforms. Please keep following. We'll have a whole lot in stuff for 2024. So some questions are here. Someone is asking how to retain clients, a lot of approach to retain clients. There are a whole lot of approach to retain clients. But I'm going to quickly just give my 2 cents on client retention. So I think like I said, there's a lot of them, but this is what I've done that has worked for me. First of all, even before you start conversing with that client, you should actually start thinking of how you can retain them. And the only way to retain anyone or to keep people within your space is to behave, even if you don't care, behave as though you care about every other thing they didn't tell you about, right? People want to feel loved. People want to feel that they are cared for. So going extra mile once a project is done. If it's an event you are designing for or something, to ask them, how did the event go? Okay, would you want, are there feedback from here or there? After a while, you can send an email or send a message again and things like that. Other things you do and other things you can help them out with. So this is one thing that's worked for me. That particular one, I think I got to meet the king, one Royal Highness. There's a job I did for his elder brother. After a while, I called them. How is it going? How's the business going? If there's anything you guys need me to do, give me a call. And he actually gave me a call. Told me that his younger brother is going to be a king. That I should come on the project. And little did I know that they had other options, right? But because I reached out, right, they immediately switched that option and they gave me the project. So there are a lot of other ways, to do that. Gifts are nice, some practical things. It doesn't have to be too technical. But what is important is that you are at the top of their mind. That is what is most important. Find things that will keep them or keep you on top of their mind. Whenever they are sleeping, they are seeing you. Lekon, I think he might want to answer this question so we can wrap it up. He said he wants to find out indicators you want to look out for when you want to choose a client. Clients comes up to you, an agency or something. What should you be looking out for before you make your decision to work with them? More like, if you are best fit for you, as much as they are seeking if you are best fit for them.
Okay, that's a very nice question. Thank you very much. So, I mean, for the clients who have reached out to you, the person must have been attracted to something in you, right? The person must have seen you come across a job, and must have been via a referral. So first, there is a green light from the person for the client to think that they can work with you, right? For them to approach you. So it's now your own duty to see if that green light is correct or not. So the first thing you want to look for is if that job aligned to the kind of job you want to do, right? So many of us do a lot of things, right? As graphic designers or as creative generally. So you might be a graphic designer that does illustration on the side, right? But a client reached out to you and say, "Oh, want to do illustration and then motion." You know that it's not something that you do professionally, right? So do you take the job knowing that you are not that good at it, or do you say, "Oh, I have something else that can work on this"? I don't know if you can still hear me, Dr. Paul.
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah, so I'll just guys. So you want to say if basically if that job aligns to what you do or what you want to do,
Hello, Lake, are you
know
there?
if the client is the right fit for you in terms of
Okay.
personality, right?
Okay.
Does this person have any record of making trouble? Does this person have any record of payments? Is this client at all is somebody that can afford you? Somebody
Yeah.
that can, I mean, most of creative have their own benchmark for payments or for
Yeah.
pricing, right? So is this
Yeah. Yeah, I think I don't know if it's my network or Lekon's network. Leko can't hear you. I think the network is bad at this moment. It's telling us to round up. So, but thank you very much, everyone, for staying. Everyone that stayed through to this, so you can watch this over and over again, and then tell us, give us your feedback, and then keep following. We are going to have a wrap or a summary of what we've done here, and keep following and our pages on Instagram, Design Rethink pages. We are, going to make a few changes or updates here and there just for you. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to drop your feedback and let's see how it goes. Thank you so much. Mr. Leko, are you back? So you can
yeah, I'm
summarize
back. Sorry,
with that.
network.
Yeah.
Yeah, network stream.
Yeah.
So I'll just summarize in a bit since we are running against time, right? So you just need
Yeah,
to
yeah,
ask the
yeah.
client a few questions in terms of the purpose of the projects, and as well while you're asking the questions, you come to realize their budgets, the purpose of the projects, how long the project will take. So all of this can be done with a questionnaire, right? So the first thing when you engage with a client, right, always try to have a questionnaire draft, right? If it's a logo project, if it's a graphic design project, a campaign, have a questionnaire, right? Just go online and Google questionnaire for this, right? You're going to see templates, right? And those questionnaire can really help you streamline and make decisions. So you know a lot of things. Clients will come to reveal a lot of things that might not be spoken about: the budget, the timing, the purpose of the project, the personality of the brand, how long the project will take, all of that. So I think a
Yeah,
questionnaire will
there's a
generally
lot that
help
can go
you.
in there. I think, yeah, I think
Yes.
we can collaborate and work on some templates we can share with a lot of people, so
Mm-hmm.
they can see how they can bid for something that makes them look serious, because the how you came
Actually.
to the event to determine how you're going to dance. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that
That's
is.
it.
Oh my God. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, everyone, Mr. Lincoln, for making that time.
All right. Thank you
Haven't
very much.
gotten a very short notice to this. More to this next year. Thank you very much, everyone. Happy New Year and happy Christmas in advance. See you guys next year. And au revoir, everybody.